In today's episode of the Data Fours,
4 ways to jumpstart your data career.
welcome to the Data for All podcast. I'm Charlie Yielding.
And I'm Charlie Apigian, where we want to empower you to think different with data. And this is the Data 4 edition, where we would take one topic and list out 4 items specifically to get you thinking in an actionable way. So, Charlie, what are we doing this time?
So today, we're going to do a little bit of information around how to jumpstart your data career.
Mm-hmm. So, something I talk about a lot.
Yeah, you're in a very unique position to do this.
Yeah.
So I was on the data science subreddit the other day, and
you said Reddit, so
yeah.
Reddit, because not
Right.
everybody knows what that is.
Okay, so there's a website called Reddit.
There you go.
Love it or hate it, there are pretty big communities on there, and there's a good data science community that seems to promote job understanding, career path understanding, and things that we typically get into. And there's lots of questions on there, and there's lots of threads on this very topic. And I was sitting to myself thinking, like, I could post a bunch of stuff in here, but who am I?
Yeah.
And then I was like, well, I just so happened to do a podcast with a person who's a literal top-tier professional in the field.
And I get asked this question a lot.
Right.
Yes. And I get introduced to people all the time, and they want to take me to coffee so I can answer this question for them. And I love to do it. I love to, of course, go out and do that. I think it's well worth my time if I can jumpstart somebody's career. I mean, 30 minutes of my time, if that can put somebody on the right path, that's great. So maybe in these 15 minutes, we can do the same.
Yeah. So pretend I'm somebody who's either interested in or working towards achieving a data career. And I want to get ahead of the pack. How would I go about doing that?
Is this theoretical? Are you asking me, Charlie, how you can jumpstart your data career?
If I were looking into it.
No, you don't need this. But I will say this: when I think of it, I'm gonna list out our 4 things. But I want to give you 2 different parameters that I think about when I do this. The first is where you are in life. So you have a different persona. Are you the entry level where you have no skills? Are you the technical person that really doesn't have, the data science or business acumen component to it? Or are you a business person? And this is what we get a lot, that has never worked in the data space and now wants to, and so a lot of times when I say the technical person, it could be somebody that's a software engineer and now they want to do data. So they have programming skills, but they don't know what a machine learning model is. So you have those different personas. Then you have different ways that you can learn. And the 3 ways that you learn, in my opinion, it's pretty simple. You can learn on your own, which can be like online stuff.
Sure.
And for me, technical skills are easy to learn that way.
Yeah.
So, if I want to learn a certain programming language or a new application, I watch videos to do that online, and I feel pretty good. There's other stuff, though, that's more foundational, that's more of the traditional education stuff. And a lot of people need that classroom environment or group environment to do that. So the comprehension type stuff.
Like, what's a good example of that?
For me, math and statistics.
Okay.
I don't think I say this now, but who knows? But I would think, and I see a lot of students struggle watching YouTube videos and then understanding regression or understanding normal distribution, but when you are part of a course, you do the one topic, but then you see how it ties together over time through examples. And so a structured course for that kind of stuff a lot of times is really helpful.
Okay.
And then the third is the stuff that, you have a lot of, and that is experience. And you just dive into it. And so for me, that's the business side, the ability to problem solve. That's hard to teach in an online course or in a classroom.
Right.
It needs to be done in some type of area. So with all that being said, let's go through, and we're going to start, Charlie, at the top on that list and work our way down. The first one is just flat out, if you're somebody that already has business acumen, you understand the math side, you understand what machine learning is. Mm-hmm. You just need the technical skills. Go online. Go online courses. Mm-hmm. That's probably, I think, the best way. And if I was to say, there's 2 ways that you can take online courses, or mm-hmm. really, I'll say 3 ways. The first is the ones that are very passive, where you just want to get on and watch videos. Mm-hmm. It's a thing you're doing while you're getting ready to go to bed. Those are like Coursera a lot. Uh-huh. So Coursera is one of those where it's very traditional. You're watching a professor talk to you, and then you can have homework once a week kind of stuff.
Right. And if I'm not mistaken, you and Lindsay Clark talked fondly about Coursera in our Data Jobs episode.
Well, because when we started, Lindsay Clark, who was, I think, episode 4, we talked about mm-hmm. careers a little bit. We were early in the game, mm-hmm. so there wasn't many options for us, and Coursera was really one of the first ones. And so what we did is we watched a course from the University of Michigan, one from Johns Hopkins. Those are the 2. I think there was one from Standard, because Andrew Ning he's got a ton of courses on there, all things that we're going to link to, by the way. And so those were very passive, though. I'd watch videos, and then I had a homework assignment due each week. Mm-hmm. The second way is more active, like a Datacamp. So Datacamp is one where you go in and you're watching 3-minute videos, and then you practice. Yeah. And then 3-minute videos. And if you look at the content that they have now, they're even at the point where they have Gen AI courses, mm-hmm. Generative AI.
I was gonna say Gen AI. That's, you and I were talking about this before. It's not AGI.
AGI is artificial general intelligence. Let's not get those 2 mixed up. We're setting the parameters now. It is Gen AI when we talk about generative AI.
Great. I'm sick and tired of saying generative AI every single time.
That's right. And then, of course, the third online type course is from a university. Mm-hmm. And, I'm at one. I struggle with, what we can do to add value. Mm-hmm. I like it when university online courses can be used in a master's degree if you wanted in the mm-hmm. future. But if it's just a one-off, like you can go to take an MIT course. Anybody can. Mm-hmm. I took one in the summer on artificial intelligence. And it was good. And it had a lot of in-depth stuff. You get somebody that's in charge of your group. Mm-hmm. So there was 1,900 of us taking it at the same time, but then we had a subgroup of 30 of us. Yeah. And we had somebody that would reach out to us each week. It was very active on their end, well put together. It was not as up to date as I would have liked it, but man,
things have been moving fast.
Yeah. And now the content was excellent. You had the top professors at mm-hmm. MIT. The homework was very easy. Mm-hmm. But then again, I already have this, if you were new to artificial intelligence, right, that stuff would have been hard. Okay. So that's, to me, when I think of online. So if you want technical skills or a passive way to view it, mm-hmm. you can do it through YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. There's a ton of things. You can just start Googling to find stuff. The hard part about that, though, is you're learning individual aspects of data or data science, mm-hmm. and you're not learning the big picture.
Right. So you're learning how to do a specific task.
Yeah. And that to me is go online. If you're already pretty good at it and you just need an example, mm-hmm. You can either use ChatGPT now for that or like a Stack Overflow as well. Mm-hmm. So that's number 1, online. The second one is one where I push a lot of people to this, and it's mm-hmm. not something where I work at one of these, but it's Bootcamps. Mm-hmm. And if you're somebody that's already educated, and let's say you're in finance, mm-hmm. and you want to get into the tech field or data field, and you just want to get started, it's hard for me to tell you to come get another degree from a university when you just need those more technical skill side of it. So I'll send them to a boot camp. And the reason I can do that here in Nashville is we have an amazing one, mm-hmm. and that's Nashville Software School.
We do, yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever hired anybody from Nashville Software School?
We have.
And usually they're people that already have a degree, and then they're pivoting into whatever new career. What was the persona?
So never mind. The employee I'm thinking about, we didn't get from NSS. We got from the tech program at the NTC.
Okay. So, but that was run by the NSS.
Was it?
Yeah. So he's talking about the Nashville Technology Council ran a program specifically, and the teaching came from Nashville Software School.
Okay.
So you did get a Nashville Software School person. That was a good program because they funded it and paid them, I think, a stipend during it so that they could go do that full time. And a lot of times boot camps will be on full time. They used to be where you went from 8 to 5 days a week. And then this thing called COVID happened. And now NSS is 100% online. And they have night classes and day classes. But, that's not going to be a degree. So it's what you run into with that is you do that and it can look the same as taking an online class on your resume.
Right. I would say that from a portfolio perspective, like it may matter to some people, but like what the body of work that you actually do seems like it would be more important. Because when I go, when I talk to people in my industry about hiring DevOps or anything like that, it's more about like, are they going to show up and do work all day and things like that, as opposed to, like, did you go to university versus boot camp versus online? It's like, can you do it? All right, well, then, let's go.
Which that brings us to the university, the traditional style. And there's the undergrad program, there's the graduate programs, and then there's also certificates. And so certificates usually are like 4 courses. They can be non-degree seeking completely. It could just be one class as well. Sometimes, and this is what we built at my former university, MTSU, is we had a graduate certificate that was 4 master's courses, and that led to a master's degree if you wanted to, or you could stop with the certificate. But the certificate was very specific in data science, and then you could go off and get a data science master's degree. I think a master's degree especially is really helpful if you want to get deep into the field. Like the ability to truly understand an algorithm is going to be hard to do through a boot camp or an online course.
Okay.
And so you've got to find those grad programs that give you that. Like my son's a good example. My 20-year-old.
Oh yeah. With the most awesome,
can you say it?
It's
Mechatronics. That's right. And so when he finishes that, he wants to go get an artificial intelligence graduate degree because he knows that he can't just do robotics without the AI part, and he wants to really learn it. He wants to get down into the math and the physics of it and
like
how it relates.
Transformers and all that kind of stuff.
Absolutely. And so that's when you want to do the graduate program. We have a lot of people that go from they're in finance for 20 years. I keep using finance, but any degree, any industry, they can come and get a master's degree and a lot of times pivot directly into the field. And so now you have a master's. So if you want a master's, if you want to get a little bit deeper into something, then I absolutely would recommend that. But if you're looking for the quick fix in 6 months, you need a new job, that's hard to do with an academic institution. The undergrad program, same thing, because if you go back to get a second bachelor's degree or your first, it's going to take a long time and it is expensive. And I think we're due for a data in education podcast, but since we're trying to keep to our time, let's get to our last one. And this is the big one. 100%. It's what we say all the time. Charlie's giving me the look. He's like, what?
I'm confused now.
It is the most important thing when it comes to data science. It is the ability to apply it to a real problem.
Oh, yeah.
And that means experience.
Yeah.
And to tie the coding plus the statistics plus the business acumen together, you got to do it. And it doesn't mean you have to have a job. It means do it. Get a data set, learn the code on how to create your first model.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, you can go online right now and watch a video that I've created that shows you how to use ChatGPT to do that. You can get started pretty quick. Get some baseball statistics. Get something that's, Spotify data that's out there. Anything, there's Yelp data that's free. Those are all things that you can play with today to jumpstart your data career.
Cool. Well, we're not going to make it on time because I have a question and I feel it's an important question.
Okay. Because we literally were on time at this point. Yes, go ahead. That's okay.
So one of the things that I have found to be overlooked in the younger generation is the power of a network. And so a big part of getting the job that you want is the networks that you participate in.
Absolutely.
And so earlier we talked about the data science. That's the data science subreddit. That's a network. You and Jason King have a data science meetup here, which is awesome. It's called the Antisocial Social.
Well, that's just our social events. So we are the Data Science Nashville meetup.
Okay.
So if you're in Nashville, come on and see us. We get a lot of people that are data curious, like to say that. They want to pivot into a new career. Mm-hmm. And when I am a big proponent of getting those people in front of people like you or me. So I call them out at every one of our meetups. And we did that with like 4 people on the one that you just went to. And then I made sure that each one of those individuals, they just graduated from their undergrads or from Nashville Software School. And I got them in front of people that have been doing this for a while and let them connect. There's no better. You're exactly right. If you're to say anything, get on a meetup.com right now or figure out where the user groups are, show up, eat their pizza, drink their soft drinks or beer or whatever they had. We had moonshine. That was pretty good.
Oh yeah, it was. Yeah.
It was, that was a little bit too much.
I don't know if serving 9% alcohol at a social gathering
made us very antisocial, didn't it? Yes, for sure. But you're right. Networking. And, this is the case in Nashville, but I have a feeling it's a case pretty much everywhere.
Yeah.
Reach out to somebody that's in the field.
Absolutely.
And just,
So the school going to school has networking built in because you interact with people all the time.
That's right.
And so that feels like that's just natural networking built in.
Yeah.
But if you're in a remote situation or online learning, you got to go find your network.
Yeah. You always want to build your technical skills, your foundational skills, the math, the statistics, reading, writing, all that kind of stuff. And then third is that business acumen. That's your soft skills.
Yeah.
And that's experience.
Yeah.
And to build soft skills, 2 ways to do that is to do it. And the second, go out and meet people.
Yeah. And I just want to tie all this back around and then I'm done. You started this off by saying people take you out to coffee on a regular basis to answer these exact questions. Yeah. And that's networking.
That's networking. And I'm still willing to do that for all of our listeners. So hit me up.
Area.
Yes. Hey, no, if you're in the area, I'll take that too. So yeah. So I think we did it, Charlie. Yeah. What do you think? So we have hit the 4 ways to jumpstart your data career. This is another one of our episodes on the Data 4s. You liking these so far?
I mean, I'm liking recording them.
Yes, very much so. Anything else?
No, I'm all good.
All right. So with that, another Data 4s is in the books. I'm Charlie Apigian.
And I'm Charlie Yielding.
And until next time.